Good day, ma'am and classmates. We're going to discuss the topics about stress. So, let's start. The American Institute of Stress, in short AIS, has distinguished different types of stress and the human response to it. Hensley defined stress as the body's non-specific response to any demand, whether it is caused by or results in pleasant or unpleasant stimuli. It is essential to differentiate between the unpleasant or harmful variety of stress termed disease, which often connotes disease, and eustress, which often connotes euphoria. So when we take a look at Hensley, I mentioned he is the father of stress research. He outlined something called the general adaptation syndrome. There are two types of stress. First is eustress and second is distress. To differentiate eustress from distress, eustress is positive stress. It can promote feelings of energy, focus, excitement, or fulfillment. It is typically caused by positive experiences such starting new job, getting married, promotion, winning money, new friends, and graduation. Can produce positive effects such as building mental resilience and even building physical strength. It helps with motivation and working towards goals. The second type is distress. Distress is a negative stress that causes feelings of worry, fear or anxiety, and decreased performance. It is typically caused by negative experiences and situations such as losing a job or when a family member is diagnosed with an illness, divorce, punishment, injury, negative feelings, financial problems, and work difficulties. This is the short term of stress and distress, or the two main types of stress. General stress syndrome has three components, or three stages. First is alarm stage. So, fight or flight in the alarm stage. These things are working at the same time and it's almost like an alarm is going off or a bell is going off. Something is saying to you, danger, danger, we need to do something about it. Very often what people do is they just move on to the stage called resistance. Resistance. The body wants to get back into balance but the individual isn't leaving. The stress is persisting. The body has to continually try to adapt to deal with this resistance and it stays in a steady state of arousal, meaning the heart rate is high, the blood pressure is high, the muscles are activated, the liver is working overtime, the adrenal glands are working overtime, and when that happens over and over again, there's little or no time for recovery, and the individual will probably move into this stage called exhaustion. Exhaustion. Now, you've heard people say, I'm exhausted. I'm so exhausted. Well, generally, they're not in the exhaustion stage of stress response, they're just tired. They haven't been getting enough sleep, which we know is important, but it's very different than this stage because this stage is that resistance is gone. The body cannot get back to homeostasis. We often heard the term burnout, and this stage is really hazardous to our health because we think about the damage that happens at the cell. Thinking and memory is impaired, and there's more if a tendency her towards anxiety and depression. And very often we think about stress and we think about the human body, but there's a term out there now called inflammation, And when people are highly stressed long term, it leads to inflammation in the body, and we now know that inflammation can be linked to impaired immunity, it can be linked to diabetes, it can be linked to Alzheimer's, all of these things, and it's not just from being stressed because you've got an exam coming up at the end of the term. This is long-term stress that has been allowed to go on, and people generally think that they can just put their head down, the old term nose to the greenstone, and keep working through it, but the human body is not meant for this.
Good day, everyone. I am Anajin Paredes Medapil, the next reporter. So, my report is the continuation of the report of Miss Pugot. Before we proceed in discussing the topic, allow me to discuss the function and meaning of the brain. Brain. The part of nervous system that is inside the skull consists of grayish nerve cells and whitish nerve fibers, and is the organ of the thought and the central control point for the nervous system. So when we say brain, a lot of ideas come in our minds that brain control thought, memory, emotion, touch, motor skill, vision, breathing, temperature, hunger, and every process that regulates our body, it comes from the brain. We have throughout the function of it, there also a sensitive part of the head that it should be good take care of because once it will be damaged or even a little bit damaged, the human might be in danger. This is what the brain looks like. Amygdala and hypothalamus are the part of the brain. The amygdala is an almond-shaped section of nervous tissue located in temporal side lobe of the brain. It is also located deep inside the brain, is a part of the emotional brain. According to this theory, we only feel anxiety when signals from the emotional brain overpower the cognitive brain and into our consciousness. Amygdala rule or function the brain are the memory and emotion of the human. Then, if the amygdala damage, it can cause problems with memory processing, emotional reaction, and even decision making. The hypothalamus is located on the undersurface of the brain. It lies just below the thalamus and above the pituitary gland, to which it is attached by the stalk. It is an extremely complex of the brain containing many regions with highly specialized function. Hypothalamus function in the brain are the hormones and temperature of the body. When the hypothalamus becomes injured, it can no longer control the temperature, which is the Stress is a simple word but have a lot of impact to a person's mind, decision, and movement that they got surprised to the things they do without thinking they are able to do it. And if you observe every process in the brain, it passes through every part of it, the messages to each other. Techniques to counter chronic stress. Relaxation response. Dr. Herbert Benson, the Director Emeritus of the Benson Henry Institute for the Mind-Body Medicine at Massachusetts General Hospital, has devoted much of his career to learning how people can counteract stress response by using combination of approaches that elect the relaxation response. These include deep abdominal breathing, focus on soothing words such as peace or calm, visualization or tranquil scenes, repetitive prayer, yoga, and tai chi. So, relaxation, this is the time that we need to clear our mind to all the problems in our own life. It is like letting ourselves to rest even just a little bit period of time for us to not be pressured and conceive bad things to do just to escape from the problem that we have in life. Number 2, physical activity. People can use exercise to stifle the build-up of stress in several ways. So, diba, when we exercise, even a simple exercise, we can focus to the activity we do and the surrounding we have. It can make us feel calm and free. It is said that taking a brisk walk shortly after feeling stressed not only depends breathing but also helps relieve muscle tension. Movement therapies such as yoga and tai chi combined with fluid movements with deep breathing and mental focus, all of which can induce calm. So as you can see, this is some example of the physical activity. Number 3, social support. Confidants, friends, acquaintances, co-workers, relatives, spouses, and companions all provide a life-enhancing social net and may increase longevity. From the word social support, it means that when a person are stressed, they also need a social support to other people who are near in their heart for them to feel they are not alone to the challenges that they face, that they have companions who are always in their side. Social support can make the stressed person feel relieved to the support of the other person, and it can make them strong to face what the problem giving their stress. So this is the end of my report and thank you for watching.